Hello and welcome to the new style Edexcel GCSE paper entitled 1MA1/1H. These papers are graded with the new style grading scheme that goes from grade 9 through to grade 1, with grade 9 being the highest. This is the higher tier non-calculator paper for which you will need ruler graduated in centimetres and millimetres, protractor, pair of compasses, pen, HB pencil and eraser. We've given instructions here that says use black ink or ballpoint pen. The reason you need to use black ink and why black is emboldened is because a lot of scanners and photocopiers can't read blue ink, and if they can't scan it, then the examiner can't read it and it can't be marked. Fill in the boxes at the top of this page with your name, centre number and candidate number. Again, if the examiner doesn't know who you are, they can't award you with your marks. Answer all questions. This one I would definitely take with a pinch of salt. All that means is all of the questions will be marked, so they all count towards your final score. However, if you get stuck on a question, just leave it, move on to the next question, come back to it if you have time at the end. Answer the questions in the spaces provided. There may be more space than you need. Now, you mustn't go over the lines in the exam paper because those lines are where the papers are scanned, and stuff that's written over the lines, again, it might not be scanned and therefore it can't be marked. Calculators may not be used. Diagrams are not accurately drawn unless otherwise indicated, so if you're asked to find an angle, you can't just measure it with a protractor. You must show all you're working out. This is really important because even if you get the answer right, you might only get 1 mark out of a possible 3, 4, 5 marks or whatever. And even if you get the answer wrong, if some of the stages in your calculations are right, you could get marked for some of those stages in your calculations, even if your actual answer turns out to be wrong. The total mark for this paper is 80. The marks for each question are shown in brackets. Use this as a guide for how much time to spend on each question. So let's just do that real quickly. We've got 80 marks and we've got 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete the entire paper. Now 1 hour and 30 minutes is 60 plus 30 is 90 minutes, and 80 marks equates to about 1 minute for every mark, with 10 minutes left over at the end to check your work. So we're given advice here. It says read each question carefully before you start to answer it. Keep an eye on the time. Try to answer every question. Check your answers if you have time at the end. All very good advice. The only thing I would add to that is make sure you go to the toilet before you sit the exam. Even though you are allowed to go to a toilet during an exam, you're not given extra time. And as we've just calculated, time means marks. Okay, so we're picking up in question 1. It says work out 6.34 times 5.2. That would be so easy if we had a calculator, but we don't. So let's do this by longhand. So that's 6.34 multiplied by 5.20 to keep our columns straight. So we can ignore the 0. 0 times anything is 0, so we don't need to worry about that line. So we can start with the 2, and that 2 is 1 column to the left of the 0, so we put a 0 down. So we've got 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. And then we've got to put 2 zeros down now to keep everything lined up. And then we've got 5 times 4 is 20, and we carry the 2 into the next column. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17, and we carry the 1. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. And now we just add. 0 plus 0 is 0, 8 plus 0 is 8, 6 plus 0 is 6, 2 plus 7 is 9, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 3 plus nothing is 3. Now all we need to worry about is where do we put the decimal point. Well, one way to be sure that we're going to put the decimal point right is to quickly do in our heads 5 times 6 is 30 and 6 times 7 is 42, so the answer's got to be somewhere between 30 and 42. So I'm going to guess that the decimal point should go here, but let's check. We should move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left, because we've gone 2 places to the left here, 2 places to the left here, so that's a total of 4 places to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm very reassured to see that the decimal point lands exactly where we guessed it should do. So the answer is 32.968. Moving on to question 2. Expand and simplify m plus 7 into m plus 3. This is worth 2 marks, so they are expecting to see some kind of working out. So if we just rush ahead and do this in our head, even if we get the answer right, we would only end up with 1 mark. So let's work this out. So we've got m. So there's 2 ways to do it. One is the FOIL method, which is first, inside, outside, last. And the other method is to distribute it out. I'll use both methods and show that they work. So let's start with the FOIL method. So that's first, which is m times m, which is m squared, plus outside is m times 3, which is 3m, and then inside is 7 times m, which is 7m, and then lastly we have last, which is which is 7 times 3, which is 21. And this then will simplify. We've got the 2 m terms here which can be combined, so we've got m squared plus 10m plus 21. Now that's all you have to do. You don't do this method at the same time as doing this method. You only do one or the other. You don't do both. So just to show you that you can use the distribution method. So if we distribute this out, we take the m into m plus 3 plus, and then the other one is the 7 into m plus 3, and that gives us m squared plus 3m plus 7m plus 21. 7 times 3 is 21. And again that combines to m squared plus 7 plus 3 is 10, 10m plus 21. Either of those methods, as you can see, come up with the same answer. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.